That's because you. Where'd you make that song at? Where were you at?
I was up here in my throne room chair.
Ooh.
Stop it. You're trying to make DJ Quantis curse. Welcome. Today's topic, what are we on episode number? Episode number 5. Today's topic is toxicity. Ooh, we got a few special guests with us today. How are you doing, Yvonne? Is Amanda still on?
No.
Oh, she left. All right, how are you doing, Yvonne?
I'm better now that I'm here. This is going to be a great topic today. I'm so ready and I'm so prepared.
Your mic is a little low. If you can turn it up a bit.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah, I can barely hear you.
Okay, cool.
What's going on, Renita?
Hey, my favorite subject.
Your shit's always loud. Go ahead. What's going on? Everything good? Nothing to promote? No comedy club. How's comedy feeling now? All of a sudden,
man, it's feeling weird. I'm gonna do an open mic.
Say somebody gonna slap the shit out of you.
Oh, I welcome it. I might meet them halfway. They'll be like, bitch, I was just going to the bathroom. Oh, my bad. You got us triggered. Yeah, I'm ready. I have some open mics coming up in Lincoln Park, and I'll let you know about them.
All right. Whenever is it? It's like more than a week out because we'll be doing another episode before then, probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to build up courage.
Everything good, DJ Quantis? You're muted, Dad. I can't hear you.
You called them Dad.
Yeah, but Dad and Daddy are not the same.
You.
Daddy is toxic.
What? Can you answer the question? Damn.
Let Quantis talk. Don't let Quantis talk today. Let him talk.
Go ahead, Dad.
Please.
And nothing going on. I'm just staring at Yvonne.
Toxic. All written all over that one. But what about your sports show? No new episodes coming up soon?
The sports show is in hibernation. I don't know what's going on. You got to talk to the producer about that. I'm ready.
I'm gonna reach out to her because you're an asshole.
You work with black women, Malachi?
What's up, Kaz? Black women? That's all my friends are black women.
All his customers and clients.
Everything I do is black women.
Black women. You had a Chinese client.
Not really big fans of them, but no, they want you to put shit together cheaply. No, nothing. Let me stop it. But
come on, buddy.
Oh my God!
This show is satirical.
There you go, Malachi.
Oh my God!
What's up, Cass? What's going on? In the world of queer.
I got an audition tonight that I got
nice
for a.
Are you leaving the house to do it?
No, it's all video. What do I gotta leave the house for? Leave the house? No, I got an audition. I'm doing. I've got some stuff that I got cast in earlier this year that's coming up this summer. That's about it.
All right, and finally, G.I. Jane 2. What's up?
You want me to reach over and slap her?
I'm ready, Will. I'm ready, nigga. I wish a nigga. I wish a nigga. Hey, Nandi. I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend.
Well, I just started working out, so I'll keep y'all updated on how that goes. I work at a gym now.
You look like you eat fries.
Yeah.
Okay.
What else?
Well, my notes said something about please, but I'm just gonna delete this right now. Wow. Like that's happening today.
Yeah, we got into this, so they're not really feeling up for it.
Okay, all right, let's get into the icebreaker. We'll start with you, Renita.
Ah,
I like starting with you. What is the most toxic thing that you have ever done in a relationship or ever had done to you? Pick one.
oh my God. Okay, well, the most toxic thing I've ever done is stayed in a toxic relationship. I know you heard the story, so I'm gonna just take away the myth. Me and the guy we dated, we had his and her order of protections against each other.
Wait. Repeat that.
We had his and
A lot of
her
people keep
order of
asking me, hey,
protection.
Raja, how come you always hit a...
What the hell was
What
that?
is that?
Go ahead.
Hello?
Redo it again. Repeat yourself.
Porn advertisement.
Okay.
Oh, I said that. I said me and the guy we had his and her order of protections. He had one against me, and I had one against him, and we still dated.
Disgusting.
They don't get
goodness.
right. I had totally.
I don't
I
get more
learned
toxic
a
than
lot.
that.
I know. I learned a lot from him. I learned that if you hit somebody in your Mustang, upon impact, the car cuts off, and you can't get away. I learned that. That shit, no, for real. People need to know that certain cars you can't just hit nobody and think you're gonna get away. The shit cut off.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And I learned that the windshield is less than the back window with the heating element.
Okay. I just got one question. Was this pre-30 or post-30?
Oh, that's a good question. Pre.
Okay, so it's not. I will give you a pass because it happened in your 20s. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank
So
you.
we're gonna give you the pass.
The police didn't.
They should have.
And wait, I also learned that you can't have that shit expunged.
Wow.
They lie. Oh my God, that's the biggest myth. Expungement is the biggest myth. I had it, I paid for it and everything. I went and applied to be a Cook County sheriff. They pulled that shit up and made me write a letter on why I did it. What? I was time served. I was pissed.
Listen, and those are loopholes. They put them in there for a reason because you could have did that the first time, especially if you was under 25.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. You learn stuff, yeah, but that toxic stuff. Now I just learned that my peace means everything, and the best way I learned this the hard way. The best way to hurt somebody is to leave them the fuck alone.
All right, we'll keep it going with you, Yvonne. Since
What
is the most toxic thing that has ever been done to you in a relationship, or that you have done to someone in a relationship?
So I'm going to go with my sister right here and say I stayed in a relationship, and it was toxic. You know, the violence that happens, the cheating, you know, the lying, going back and forth. And I did it. Let's see, my oldest is going to be 32 this year. So maybe half of those years, I stayed in that relationship and continued to have children with a man that had no respect for me. So that was toxic. Mm-hmm. And when you stay in relationships like that, you know, it breaks down your self-esteem. You know, it breaks down the love that you're supposed to have for yourself because you want to love somebody else more than you want to love yourself. That's toxic. You can't do that because you become a doormat then at that point. And that's what I was. I had 5 children by one nigga and he never married me. Well, that last one is questionable. He still won't take a DNA test on that one. But, you know.
You know it's his. I don't know. I watch a lot of Paternity Court and I be believing the women and I should.
How come you don't know?
I should.
I was young, you know, I went through a whole phase. So yeah.
That's such a beautiful phase.
Hey man, ain't nobody mad at you. Do what you do. Be happy.
That's right.
Not a phase.
All right, Kaz. What is the most toxic thing that you have done in a relationship or that has happened to you in a relationship?
I think obsession and denial is probably it. Obsession. I was a big serial dater and didn't really want to, I never wanted to be in a long-term relationship. So I really avoided those. types of things because I felt like if I never fell in love, then I could never be broke. My heart could never be broken.
Cass, I need you to realize the word that I said in that sentence was most. I think you're taking the easy way out.
I said obsession and denial.
Sounds like a bullshit answer to me. Is all I'm saying. Go ahead.
Obsession, because obsession is more. Obsession has to do with, because I don't know the answer to that. That's a good question.
I can agree with obsession. It goes in here.
Specific incident. What did you do? You did some fucked up shit that damn near landed you. Renita said something that put her that she got to get expungement and shit, and it don't work.
It don't.
Or it was done to you. It could have happened to you. It don't have to, it could be yours.
I don't know.
Go with your thoughts. Did you ever think about doing some crazy shit?
Looking at obsession thing and find an example that happened in your life. That's what we want to know.
I would look at phone records. I used to look at the phone records.
Yes.
And there was one time I cut the phone off because I could.
You could. That's not obsession.
That's some toxic shit.
That's toxic.
Cutting off somebody's phone that's on your line.
If y'all got a whole goddamn agreement, you can't just change the agreement just because you mad.
I've cut the phone off. This is good talk. I said one night I was so upset with my husband, and we had a photo album of pictures that we had together for immigration. And one night, because I had took him to go see Hamilton, and if you saw Hamilton, there's this thing that go burn, and I had the fire pit, and I was just burning all them pictures, looking crazy as a mother. There you go. That's some obsessive toxic shit.
Yeah, that's toxic.
This was before
the
immigration meeting thing.
No, this is after.
That don't count then.
That's
toxic. I was like, it was a book. It was a very nice photo album book that like he had put a lot of time into. And like he had like wrote individual things on, and I had ripped them out. So I was really upset and all of that shit up.
I think what, you're right. That shit would have been funny as hell if it was before immigration.
And then I was sending him. No, that's not the toxic part. I was video recording it to that song from Hamilton. I sent him the videos.
Yeah, that's some toxic shit.
Did you have to do any retakes?
Crazy. You performed it.
Yes, he's such an asshole.
Bravo.
Obsession and denial.
I would like to see that footage.
I'm sure.
I don't think I have it anymore. I have to look. It might be on the cloud somewhere.
All right, Dad.
Why are you saving me for last? I feel like this is first.
Yeah. What is the most toxic thing that has ever happened to you in a relationship or that you have done to someone?
Oh man, it's a lot of stuff. Really
don't go easy. Don't nobody care about babies outside of marriage or nothing like that. Like something real toxic. What?
That only happened one time. Probably when I was younger, I wanted to get this girl back, so I started a relationship with her, knowing that I was getting ready to break her heart, because she had broke my heart when I was in college, and then I got her back, and we looked like we was getting back together, and then I let her realize that I'm married.
Did your wife know about this? Did your wife know about this when you were in cahoots with your wife?
No, but I eventually told her what I was doing.
Oh shit.
So you took it all the way there, sexual and everything? Yeah, you don't want to mention that.
I'm not disclosing all of that information.
Listen, Renita, to answer your question, this is going to be some trauma comedy today, because that situation, Grant, happened to me. So,
go ahead.
That's some man.
Yeah.
Wait. You received it or you did it? Yvonne.
What do you mean?
No,
Her?
Yvonne said it happened to her. Something similar happened to her. So, like, did you do it to someone, or they did it to you?
I was in a relationship with someone and they did it to me. They started a whole another relationship with someone else while I was together. And
but did they do it in spite? I did it in it was a revenge thing. I did it on purpose.
You know, I don't know because you know, sometimes when I ask some difficult questions, people can't answer them because, you know, these are things that I want to know. I got questions about your behavior. And so a situation like that, Grant, man, somebody knowingly getting into a relationship with you, knowing that they're going to break your heart because
that's why I don't give second chances. Fuck a second chance.
Well, no. If I was giving her the second chance.
I know, right? I would have never went back. Second chance, fuck you.
Yeah.
But then if I wanted to give a second chance, can this question now be put as?
I mean, I took the kid.
Is that how somebody would feel about me? I wanted to give a second chance because that's
it was
ridiculous.
so evil, Malachi. We was taking the kid to go see Santa Claus.
That's too far. That's too toxic. That is too toxic. You involve children.
You playing daddy?
Yeah, I was grimy.
That's grimy. Yeah, that's grimy. That
was over there selling.
No, but what had happened? When we were younger, and she was fine, man. That girl was fine. I don't even know what was wrong with me. And then but she hurt me because when I was going with her, when I was gung ho about women, and she
wait. So
she gave her number to another dude, and I didn't. She worked at the store, gave her number to another dude, and I went crazy. I jumped on top of her car, and then her daddy was a police officer.
He came. You are now?
It was embarrassing.
I hope you were the same way you are now.
Well, wait. Let me straighten Renita out. This Quantis you see was not. I mostly slim Quantis most of my life. Okay.
I'm about to say.
I know it was a younger you.
Yeah. This nigga could not have jumped up on top of no car.
Quantis, you don't feel guilty about that? Did you ever apologize?
We actually hooked back up.
Again? Oh, she a glutton.
No, man, she was fine, man.
I just,
I would just pay. That was payback, so we even at that point.
That's if you keeping score, I guess.
Right. Oh, that's toxic.
She gave her number to another dude, and you faked an entire relationship while being married.
Exactly.
That's toxic as hell.
Quantis is the king of toxic. Let's see if you got something to beat that, Nandi.
I don't.
Thank you.
I've never been the perpetuator of toxicity, but I can tell you the worst thing that my boyfriends have done to me.
Okay, give us a recipient in.
My second ever boyfriend gave me an STI because I knew he was borrowing my car, but after a while, I picked up on the fact that while I was at work, he was using my car to go and have sex with other women. And so at some point in the summer, I had like a tragic accident. So I was like bedridden for all of July. He didn't want to stay in the hospital. Like, he made an excuse to take my car and go to work, I guess. And then he went out of town for most of the time that I was bedridden. And then I would say like August is when I got like symptoms and diagnosis of the STI. And I didn't really like say anything. I just was like, hey, I have this and you probably have it too. So because you're the only person that I'm having sex with, and we've only like not used protection once ever. So it has to be you. And what else did he do? He
probably started gaslighting you.
Yeah, for sure. But like at that point, I was like, I was numb to it because I didn't really want to be in the relationship.
You are so nice.
Yeah, because I was just like, you
have to kill that nigga.
No, Mally, for real.
All about.
I would have let him. I would have took all my pills. I would have took him after I let him eat my pussy. I promise you.
No,
you are so nice.
He went through
all so fucking nice.
He texted
Oh my
every
God.
male, like every phone number that was saved with a male name in my phone. He texted all of them, pretending to be me. And then once they like called in response to the messages he sent, he would be like, "Gotcha, nigga. Why are you talking to my girlfriend?" It was weird. It got so bad that they would like try and reach out to me on a separate like instance and be like, "Are you okay? Because it sounds like this person who believes that he's your boyfriend is crazy."
Damn.
Yeah.
I feel bad for you. You need a hug.
And then in November,
No, you need a toxic friend like me.
He made me pay for a flight to go and visit with his family in somewhere west that I'd never been before. And while we were there, he went through my devices and found a reason to break up with me while I was there, like staying with him and his family in a place I'd never been before.
Damn.
And the flight was like $350. He made me pay for it. And then on our way back, he put his iPad down on our luggage and somebody took it. And he blamed me for it. And I was like, "Here, I'll pay for a new one because you're not finna talk to me."
Oh my God, you are so sweet.
Man.
He would have never got back on that plane. I'd have lost his ticket.
Oh, Nandi. Oh.
He'd have been at home with his parents with an STI.
Now I
exactly.
Now I understand why Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. He was protecting you.
Hey, Nandi, can I use your car?
No, Nandi, the hell with him using your car. You got any STIs left for him? Get that to him. You can have that, Quantis.
Thankfully, I didn't get any of the permanent ones. Well,
yeah,
thank
that's
God.
a blessing. That is so
I got
evil.
the most painful one. Don't do me. And honestly, the STI was like the most calm part of our entire relationship because that was the time where I wasn't seeing him because I was bedridden.
Oh, Nandi, question. Did he ever try to come back? Because they all come back.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he did. He was on some like, oh, well,
we were young.
No, he was just like, well, I want to have sex, but I don't want to have sex with just anyone. And so I know that we had great sexual chemistry, even though our relationship.
He didn't hit you with that one.
And like, no, he didn't, because the thing that doesn't work for me is if we have relationship problems, I'm not getting wet for you ever again. Like if we are having problems, that's part of how our relationship deteriorated. Because once I started getting frustrated with him, I was no longer invested in our sex life. And so he just started, he got bored because he was like, okay, the bulk of our relationship was our sexual chemistry.
Oh my God.
So now I don't really have a reason to like be respectful.
He was the most gaslighting. He gaslighted you.
It's cool.
I can't even laugh. Nandi, you done made our show serious and shit. Like, I can't even laugh.
Nandi, give me his address. I got you.
No, but you know what you don't understand.
Give me his address. I'm about to go start the car. Where he live?
That shit is so calm for me now because my most toxic relationship is the relationship I have with my biological father. So like anything that these other little niggas are doing is just like child's play compared to the shit that my dad and I have like gotten into, because he finds ways to involve me in his multiple relationships with women. Like he uses his kids as a reason to like make himself more attractive as a good father. And so like whenever his good father image is tarnished by one of us, then he'll tell lies about the person who's tarnishing the image, which is typically me because I don't tell lies. So when I tell a woman, hey, you're one of 5, he's telling them like she's just spoiled, she don't know nothing, she's ungrateful. You know what I'm saying? So like he's always,
you told him that.
Yes,
that's why
I did that when I was younger. I did that.
All of his women will try to butter up to me because I'm his only daughter. And so they think that having a relationship with me will give them more insight into my father. And I'm like, I barely have a relationship with that nigga. All I can tell you is we pulled up on 4 other women today. So like, you're sitting here trying to buy me gifts.
Nandi, that's naughty.
Naughty. Wait, hold on, Nandi. You take the gift, right?
I don't like them because they're not genuine gifts. They're never giving me anything.
So do you take them? No.
Sure. One time my dad bought a woman a ring as a Christmas gift, not as a proposal. And so because he couldn't return said ring, he bought us jewelry from that same pawn shop. So that was probably the best gift I got out of it. One bitch tried to take me ziplining, and I was like, I'm afraid of heights, so this is dumb. Yeah, it's just like weird. They all think
Your daddy got it going on
All
like
right.
All right. We're
All
gonna
like my daddy.
keep it moving. Y'all done dramatized
Nandi,
the show.
Keep
I'm
it
gonna
moving,
inbox you my
Molly.
phone
Moderator.
number, okay? You can call me mommy.
Okay.
You can call me mommy, Nandi.
ain't
Come
no
on.
One of
Now,
six, Renita.
All right, we'll go to you next since you just interjected, DJ Quantis. What are the red flags you look for to avoid toxic relationships now?
Broke women.
Broke. What does that
They
mean?
have a lot of time.
What is that? How do you even know somebody's broke? What does that mean?
How?
So are women buying you stuff? What does that even mean? How would you know?
Possible.
As a former broke woman, I can say it really comes down to having too much time on your hands. So you start making bullshit up because you're not working. You don't have nothing going on for yourself.
Broke women.
I ruined
I mean, some broke women are cool, but at this
Define
stage,
broke. Define broke.
At this stage.
Okay, good.
Nandi,
At this
please.
stage.
Define broke.
Define
Yeah.
broke, Dad. I just want to understand what your definition of broke.
I need to know what broke is too.
At the final stage. The final.
You talking about just the poverty line? Because there's some people under the poverty line that gets benefits. That's okay. So it just depends.
I mean, broke is relative. You know, like some women don't have as much as others, but they be willing to.
Yeah, but in your sphere of relativity, what is broke?
Broke is not willing to give your money up.
What? Wait a minute.
You mean stingy?
Shit, then that's every woman available. Women don't.
Frugal?
Always crying broke.
Oh, crying broke. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I get you.
You got money and you don't want to spend it. That's your definition.
Right. They want to spend your money.
Stingy.
What define stingy? Why would a woman need to go out with a guy and spend money? Make me. I'm missing something.
See, y'all want to get rid of gender norms, but you want niggas to pay for your food.
Well, no, Quantis. Let me jump in real quick and say,
please.
I'm a broke woman. Now, do you still find me attractive?
You different kind of broke because you really broke.
He see potential in you, but he see potential in you, Vaughn.
See, society this the red flag you gotta avoid, Yvonne. See, society was just trying to hold you down, Yvonne. You know, you ain't like the rest of the broke women. You know, if you had it, you would give it. Get the fuck out of here.
What other red flag? Too many male friends.
You don't like a lot of male friends?
I'm so dead.
I said too many.
Malachi only deals
with I mean, I'm collecting a lot of male friends now, and that's all they are friends. I'm not sleeping with anyone. So you wouldn't like me because I have male friends. I'm
Look,
very
man, we're gonna handle the business, Yvonne. This ain't about
Get on.
I wish I could read the comments section right now.
I'm just trying to.
Yvonne ain't got to worry about nothing. She might not have a red flag, but she got a whole parade going on.
You stupid. All right, Kaz. What are the red flags you try to avoid?
Communication all day. The inability to communicate.
What that mean? Like,
I can put up.
Hold on. Let me give you an example. So do you got a problem with like the dudes that be like that I don't like to text. I call. Like that's probably like an older
communication. If you cannot communicate, what I mean with communication is, do not make my decisions for me. Communicate with me because you don't know what I'm willing to. You don't know what. It's like I said, I already got my red flags is. I'm what did I say earlier? Not
obsession. You said obsession.
Obsessive. I'm a bender. I like to bend. I like to try to make things work. I'm always gonna try to make it
big
work.
ass ain't bending.
Your bending days is over, nigga.
Bender. I like communication. If I can't ask you a question, if I ask you a question and you can't give me an honest answer, because you're afraid of how you think I may respond, then I don't need to be.
It's 2:45.
Who got that shit on?
That's
Who the blind nigga that's on here? Wait a minute.
Don't always say this shit every time you.
She what's it
Damn,
called?
Ray Charles and stuff, man.
Damn.
It's called time blindness. Isn't it?
Go ahead, Kaz, finish.
No, it's communication. So like if I ask you about something and you can't give me an honest answer about it because you're afraid of how I may or may not react, then I don't need to be with you. If we can't be open and honest, then we don't need to be together. Because my belief is that I think for me, even in my previous relationship.
But okay, see, my issue with your answer is like that's getting deeper into after you already connected with somebody. I'm like red flag.
No,
like
communication from day one. If I go out on if I go out on a date,
you gonna know that they might play for a while.
If I go out on a date with you and you can't tell me where you work or what you do for a living or what your aspirations are, because I'm going to ask you what your aspirations are. I'm going to ask you what you like to do. If you have no idea on what you want to do,
I'll never go on a date with you. That sounds like a dang interview.
You know what? If that's on the first date and you ask them questions, they may not be fast enough on their feet.
No, it's as simple as this, Renita. It's simple as this.
Yeah, niggas just be want to talk about what songs they like in TV shows.
Let me finish.
Jumping into your aspirations.
Let's build
a future together. This is our first date.
Let me get there. This is a great example. If I say, Renita, I want to take you out Friday. What kind of food do you like? Well, I don't know. Whatever you want.
That's every woman.
That's a red. Nope. I can't deal with that. That indecisiveness. You don't know anything you want. That's a red flag to me. If you can't say, "Hey, I really like this, but I'm like this, and let's do this." If you can't have a conversation and you just want me to make all the decisions, I'm done making all the decisions.
You know what? I can.
It's the opposite.
I can
women
agree
are tired of making decisions.
Yeah,
I'm gay. I don't deal with women. I'm gay and I don't deal with women.
Yeah, but
tired.
you're not the woman. You're the man, and they.
That's not necessarily true. I'm the woman in the man. I have feminine, masculine qualities in relationships.
But then your man got to kick in. You got to take charge.
I don't want no one making all of the choices for me either.
Right.
I want it to be a collaborative effort. If we cannot communicate, then we don't need to be going out.
You're gonna be single the rest of your life.
That's what I think I am.
You know what?
All right, Renita. What
red flag?
Yeah.
Red flag is once we're starting out, it's a must for me that you communicate with me every day. We don't have to be on the phone all day. We don't have to have 500 conversations. You can text me how you doing. Let me know that you care enough about a bitch to make sure she made it through the night. I could have got raped and killed up in here. Aww. And you could go, if a guy could go a day or 3 days without talking to you, he does not fucking like you. Boom.
That's not true. I do that shit all the time.
That's real.
Nigga, you don't like nobody.
That's real.
What are you talking about?
That's
I don't
real.
like that. I don't like that red flag.
You have had perfectly
I'm the type
women.
of nigga that can get drunk and high and go to sleep for 3 days. Shit, I don't know.
You know what? You don't like nobody.
That's a red flag.
You don't like nobody.
That's not normal.
That's not normal.
Not go
if
to
a guy
sleep.
is starting
Not
out
go
with
all
you
the way to sleep, but
in
I'm
a relationship. If somebody's starting out with you and telling you that they're interested in you, they're gonna call.
Oh,
if they
you
can
know
go
what?
Without calling and talking to you, they're not that much interested in you. They don't care. I want to know if Nandi and I were cool like this, and me and her, this is my. Hey, Nandi, did you make it through the night? God damn, you would be genuinely encouraged. This is a single woman.
Yeah.
A single woman. You don't
That's
know
true.
if she made it home.
That's true for a while, but sometimes
you don't know if she got killed.
Yeah,
Nandi
Nandi is not excessively single anymore. That person that interjected that time has made it official.
But if he was single,
I am single. Damn.
Oh, you're back single again? I don't know what the fuck.
I never said I wasn't.
We was just before the show started. You said about you got on the phone.
A relationship does not mean that.
Oh my fucking God, Jada Pinkett. Wait a second. We coming back to you.
She has an entanglement.
All right, Yvonne. What are some red flags for you, Yvonne? Jesus.
So not to reiterate anything that anybody else has said thus far, I'm gonna agree with a lot of you all's sentiment, and here's why. It's like when I look at relationships, communication is it. but how you communicate is like how I want to go in with people, because I'm very direct. I'm very upfront, and I have to be, because I don't think that I don't want to waste my time or yours. Don't come in with the lies. Don't start. Please don't, because the lies for me is this: I'll see you at this time, but then when you don't show up and then you don't call to say why, then the communication is this: you didn't want to be here in the first place.
But you be late all the time.
And I get
but
that.
she make it, and she makes
So,
it.
but my thing is this, Quantis, I give grace for that. But you still have to apologize. It was wrong. If I can apologize to you for being late, meaning the day that I was late for the show, I had already told y'all what to do.
Sound like your red flag is empathy.
So I guess so. I must feel loved in any and all situations. I do, because it's a red flag to me when you don't, because then that means that you're going to make me defend myself, because I'm vulnerable with people all the time. I can say I'm sorry when I fuck up, and it's cool. And I allow you to do the same thing, and we keep moving forward. Wow, I don't want to stay stuck. I did all of that stuff before. So I'm real upfront in a relationship. If I like a guy, I'll tell him, man, I'm digging you. I like this about you, boom, boom, boom. I see a future.
You want to know a random?
I'm not trying to get married. I'm like, I'm not trying to marry you either.
You want to know a random red flag for me? I do not, I'm over 30, so motherfuckers probably got kids. I don't want to meet your kids that fast. Slow down, shit. Like, come on, man. Like, I do not like that shit.
Well, how you gonna stop that, man, if a woman got little
I
kids?
said fast. God damn. I'm like,
motherfuckers be So what's fast? Because I just introduced somebody to my child, but she's grown. So I didn't think nothing of it.
That's an adult kid. That's a little different. But I'm talking about,
people in their formative
women around my age. So like, it'd be like, I'm like, man.
Nobody needs
I did not need this little kid running up to me and shit. Like, that shit.
I'm talking to a guy that got a kid, I need to know, because I need to know
how that shit working together.
It's a package deal. Because
if you talking to a guy with a kid,
hold on, they can get away with it. Like, nigga ain't gonna even know. Like, the daddy gay ain't going. They're like, whatever.
No, it's just like when I talk to guys, I let them know I got a goddamn dog. Because if you allergic to dogs, you're not gonna like me because my dog shed every fucking where.
No.
It's a package deal.
Like, I know the person got a kid. I'm just saying I don't want to meet him that fast. Like,
I got a kid.
Let's go on.
Let's
go on. I'm with you, Renita. Like, let's go on a few dates and figure out if we even like each other before I meet your fucking kid.
No, I agree. I'm not talking about you
bringing
a kid to the restaurant.
You know what? I forgot, Mally. One more. A junkie car.
What you? Nigga, that's what you got. You the junkie.
Exactly.
That was not at me, and I'll take it, because that is definitely a red flag.
Go ahead.
When none of y'all
I gotta take a quick break anyway. I gotta use the washroom. I'll be right back. Go ahead, Nandi. Run with it.
So for me, someone who has not been to the doctor for like a non-emergency preventative care in over a year or so, that's weird, because that's telling me that they haven't been tested for STIs. Someone who can't articulate any goals or like grounding purposes in their life. You could have attained your goals, but you don't have any way of saying like, oh yeah, I set this goal, I met it, and now I'm thinking about doing this.
That's what I mean by aspirations.
Right.
Y'all hit hard on me.
But I'm saying for somebody who can't articulate any of that, that's a red flag for me. And then someone who just has like way too much time on their hands. It seems like, they just get into bullshit. Like,
yeah, but when I think about a red flag, I'm talking about like an immediate thing that you see in the beginning of a relationship.
Yeah.
That's it, baby.
That's what, like, I always ask dudes, like, so do you have a primary care provider? When's the last time you went to the doctor? Are you in therapy? And
that's too much.
Oh no,
I don't care, because like if you feel like that's too much, then we're not supposed to be.
It might be a naturalist.
That's
okay, and we're not supposed to be together.
You know
That's
what?
a good question.
Those
Nobody
are
asked us, are you in
those are
therapy?
some great. Those are some very great questions. Those are some great
That is
questions,
a
though.
great
I
question,
have an
Nandi.
herbalist.
Okay, and that is a
And
provider.
that's good to
That
know
is a
too.
I want to hear one of my
primary
toxic
provider.
traits that I used to do in relationships. When somebody would ask me what was I looking for, this is a red flag for me if I hear someone say it to me. But this was one of my toxic traits. I'm just seeing how things go. I'm just going with the flow. That's a big red flag. That means I'm here to waste your time. I'm here to waste your time. When are we gonna fuck? We might fuck again. I don't plan on seeing you that often.
Indifference is a big red flag for me. If you're indifferent about too many things, then that tells me that you're either one, afraid to speak your opinions, or two, you don't have a mind to articulate any of your opinions on anything.
My red flags typically be the red flags that I give to other people.
Dumb. That's a big issue. You have to do a lot of
I
digging
understand you, Nandi, on
intelligent.
Dumb.
Like, and I don't mean like, oh, I don't know 2 + 2. Like, yeah, I don't do simple math either, but like, you can't like articulate any of your thoughts, and you just make shit up, and you don't. You don't do any self-reflection on your life. Like, you should at least be able to articulate facts about you. But you can't do that, and you're
That's so like, y'all getting deep into it. I was just talking about like surface level red flags.
That's what I was saying too.
Niggas do certain niggas like hide their phone all the time when you come around. Little shit like you be like, yo, nigga, what the fuck? It's like, I wasn't even looking that way. Like, chill out. Like,
look, we not
always on their phone.
I don't pay attention to stuff like that though, because I don't
red
care.
flag that people see for me though. When my phone, there's no notifications on my phone. You can't see a message pop up on my lock screen. My text tone is different, so you don't know if it's a text or an airdrop. And I always keep my read receipts on. I feel like most guys see that is a problem, as well as the number of male friends I have. That's a problem. Everybody expresses. Yeah, I definitely have a messy car. Just generally,
I do too.
Me too.
Yeah, also just not having
only
hair.
In the winter months though. That's how the messy car. You can get your messy car's excuse in the winter months. If your shit messy in the summer, you could have took your ass out. It ain't cold outside, right? So
I think
you got a problem.
I think the issue with like all the red flags and toxicity that we like to talk about is that we expect that if you do not have any, I think anyone that says they don't have toxic traits is toxic. Yeah. Because we all have toxic traits and we all have things that we're working on. And that's why communication to me is I'm toxic. I got toxic issues.
Men who don't like their baby mamas. That's first of all,
bad baby mamas.
First of all,
I don't need to hear it.
First of all, listen. First of all, you telling me off rip that you don't make good decisions because somehow you were too in the moment. So that's weird. Secondly, you didn't make a good decision on who this person you were gonna procreate is. Like, you didn't ask her if she was on birth control. That's weird. So then now you talking to me about how you irritated with this person who's gonna be in your life no matter what, until she or your child dies. Even if your child dies, that person is a part of your life, and you're telling me that you don't like her. That's a lot of red flags for me.
Nandi, that's it. You nailed it. And guess what?
Hey, hold on. Renita, I'm gonna need you to say Nandi, not Nadi.
Oh.
I've been doing that all day. Can't take it anymore.
I think a lot of men think
you're talking about
against each
talk
other.
about your baby mama. I'm not your HMO. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Don't talk about her to me. What do you want me to do? Go beat her up? No.
Or it's a lot of things. Like, if you're perpetually complaining about something in your life, it's time for you to do something about that.
Thank you.
Even if it's your job, like, yeah, we all got to work a job, but you have autonomy in your life to make a different decision. And so you should at least be saying, hey, I don't like this situation, but here's what I'm doing to get out of it. Or here's how I'm growing to make this situation better. And
well, that's a good
any of that, then that's a
always coming to you with problems and not solutions.
Right.
And I used to get this. That is a big pet peeve of mine.
I'm finna give y'all the easy one. Don't got a real bank account.
But see, you know
I
what?
never ran into a woman that way, but like I know dudes like that.
No,
I know women that say this.
You would never date somebody who's undocumented?
Huh?
You wouldn't date somebody who's
Nigga, I know undocumented people with real bank accounts, and I know niggas in the hood that don't got bank accounts. That's what I'm saying.
That's valid.
Like, yeah, they got a chime card.
What I'm trying to say is that if you didn't have a real bank account, but you are trying to work on getting one, or you have intentions, like, again, it comes again with this is my problem. If you can only come to me and say, hey, these are my problems, I need you to solve them for me, then I don't want to be involved with that.
Okay, I think it's if it's prefaced the right way. Like, yo, I fucked up my shit. I went through some shit, and I'm working on it, and I need help, and I'm finna get a new bank account. Cool.
It don't matter.
Don't ask me for help. Because they
no. I'm just saying they just tell you what path they on and they getting it back right. Versus some motherfucker playing games like they got something and they ain't got it.
No,
it doesn't matter.
I'll agree with Malachi on that, because I don't like this motive of that you fucked up once in your life, and because you fucked up once and you're trying to get yourself back together, that if you talk about that with somebody else, that you're still a fuck up. I believe that people make mistakes and we can get better. This idea that you're once a fuck up, always a fucked up, you'll always be a fuck up, I'm not a big fan of.
No.
As long as you're coming to me, as long as you're not asking me, as long as you're not asking me to do everything for you, as long as you're not asking me to do everything for you, and you're maybe just asking, hey, I work in finance. Hey, honey, this is what I'm doing. Do you think this is a good idea? I looked at this, and this. Yeah, I don't mind that.
Oh, that's fine, Kaz. We about to move on to my
what's next?
My final question, which is, I get you brought up a lot of toxic traits and things that you're looking for red flags you're trying to avoid, but what are some ways in that you address your own toxic traits, if you have any of those that you mentioned?
Therapy.
Therapy. That's lazy. I want like a real good method. Like I'm finna for example, like I'm at the Oscars and I feel like slapping the shit out of a nigga. How do I keep from doing that?
But if you had a therapist, she would help you talk through
No. Like, is it a method? Like I could breathe or something?
I gotta be.
Yeah, so I actually do something to address my own toxicity.
Go ahead,
when it pops up. So during the pandemic, I found out that, I did some questionable things in my life, and it started with my children. And so when I went back there to visit that place, I was a bad parent. And so because my children are still alive.
Be careful. Let's not just say bad parent. Let's just say you didn't do everything.
I'm talking about me.
Okay.
So,
okay.
It's real personal.
Okay, go ahead. I just be careful with my words. Okay.
Well, I'm just calling it like I saw it. I'm not gonna go into very great detail, but that's what it was, because it was done to me too. So when you notice patterns, you have to pay attention to them.
Okay.
And so the toxic nature of how I was speaking and how I was treating them, it comes back up again when they can't decipher whether or not I've changed. And I have, because my behavior has changed. So now my words and my actions are lining up. So how do you get to that point? You accept the bad things about you. So when my daughter, to give you an example, she was having a moment and she exploded. And I was just sitting there looking at her like, what the hell just happened? Like, why you just explode like that? Mm-hmm. It was a situation where she had a lot to do and she needed some help, but she didn't know how to ask me for help. So I volunteered. I jumped up. I started helping her, doing a whole bunch of stuff. Why? Because that was me when I was her age. She don't have children. I had 6. And she was a person that helped me. She didn't come and ask me like, Mom, what you need me to do, do this, to do that. And when you really frustrated like that, you're not really thinking. And I wasn't. So I used to lash out at people, slam doors, cursing my kids out, among some other things. That's toxic behavior. They didn't do anything. They didn't ask to be put in that situation. Mm-hmm. I brought them into it. And so how you reverse those type of situations is you apologize. And the person that you're apologizing to is yourself, because you have to forgive yourself for that type of behavior. Why? You didn't know any better. And so now that you do and your behavior has changed, then it's time for me to accept that I've changed and I'm showing up different. And then when somebody brings up that toxic part of me, like my children, because they'll bring it up. And I'll ask them, did I stay with you while we were going through this? Even though it was difficult for all of us to experience this, because you have to see something. Mm-hmm. Even though those things happen, I still stayed here to help you. I could have left. I could have been that parent where you just completely leave, because some people can't deal with that. Being a single parent, raising children in the ghetto, south side of Chicago, when you got all of these things going on around you. So that's how I understood my behavior. I was in survival mode. So survival mode says you got to do what you got to do. But that's hood language. So that's how, you address those type of situations.
I get your point. So you're saying like you got to apologize. That's cool.
Yeah, you got to apologize.
Anybody else got something to add to that?
Yeah, well, for me, I pray in the spirit, which is tongues. I reflect, I analyze, I plan, and then, of course, I execute.
Perfect. That's how you do it. Exactly.
Okay. Anything else? Anybody else?
Self-reflection, accountability, and conversation.
I drink.
And
yeah, that too.
I drink and smoke.
That make more toxic.
No, it don't. It actually helps.
It depends.
Go ahead, Nandi. I'm sorry.
Red flag that I've noticed too: people who cannot be alone. Everybody needs to have alone time to
self-soothing is important.
And meditate or do whatever you like to do or don't feel comfortable doing in front of other people. Because I've had partners who just couldn't be alone, and that's how they ended up in the devil's playground. They were never like certain about what they were going to do because they were always letting their choices be influenced by the people that they were around. Alone. And so, like my family, we are self-reflective to a fault. Like it's almost toxic how much we impose like self-reflection on each other. So someone who's just like listfully going around in life and trying things without thinking is not going to be compatible with me anyway. Because they're not going to understand why I overthink everything. I'm not gonna like how they never think about anything.
Your mic went down, Nandi, for some reason. I don't know what happened.
One thing my partner says to me all the time that pisses me off is, I didn't mean to. And it's like, you didn't even have the intent to not either. So just because you didn't mean to, you're also telling me that you didn't think hard enough to avoid that either. And it's upsetting. And so I get that, like, yes, the intent matters, but also you have to have some intention behind the original action too. And if that intention is good, then I can forgive it. But if you're just like, I didn't mean to, I didn't really think about it, then I'm going to be frustrated because like you weren't thinking about me or yourself.
All right,
cool. So let's get into our rank it segment. I did a rank it segment on toxic currencies. We're going to start with you, Kaz. Rank these 5 toxic currencies.
You gotta write them in the chat.
I don't have to write them. You'll remember them.
No, I won't.
Weed, liquor, beer, cigarettes, and sexual favors.
Why isn't beer a part of liquor?
No, because they don't got the same value. I trade in some of these currencies.
Beer,
no.
cigarettes,
and sexual favors.
Weed,
wait, but why? Not all of these are toxic.
Beer and sexual favors.
Oh, they can be and they cannot be. So it's just
right.
Just currencies.
What's your answer? I mean, question.
Rank them.
So from what to what?
Pick it. However you want to.
Most valuable to least valuable?
That's fine.
Like for me, or like if someone gives it to me?
Just explain it after you do it. Go ahead.
I'm just confused with the question. What's the question?
Rank them in importance if it's to you, and then explain why it's important.
Well, I would say liquor, weed,
Liquor, then weed. Okay.
beer,
Beer.
cigarettes, sexual favors.
That's what has the most value to you. Why?
Liquor gets you there. Liquor gets you there. Get you there.
Sexual favors do too.
I don't know. It's been a. I'm almost half a decade over here. So they don't get me nowhere. But no, I think liquor is good and it's bad for me.
It's very bad. It's probably the absolute worst for you.
Well, like as a creative, it's really helpful for me to like calm my thoughts down, to calm my thinking down. But like I've started to like, as I've been abstaining from liquor for a while, I've been trying to tap into other healthier avenues for that. But liquor is the fastest way to get to a calm state for me. And weed would be the second fastest. Beer and cigarettes are just quite sociable with me. They make you invoke you don't got wine on there. No wine. See, I would put wine above liquor.
Wine above
a
liquor.
Good wine and a cigarette.
But it's not really a currency. People don't really trade in it. Like I mean like trade. When I mean it, like in the currency format, like you can go fuck with somebody and like you can give them this. I'm talking about like you don't give them direct money or something. I probably could have put food on there. Now that I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's what I'm confused at the question. So if you give me a better question,
so in that sense,
a better answer.
I don't know, nigga. I wrote this shit like right before the show.
You're talking about what I could give to someone to get something.
It's
from
just
them?
Currency. The keyword is currency.
Wine.
So it's stuff you trade in that's not money.
Wine and weed. Then
I get it.
I don't trade liquor.
I don't get the question.
I don't really trade liquor. I don't really trade beer. I don't cigarettes.
Wine.
Wine is gold.
I wouldn't trade any of these things.
I don't know in the hood and no trade like in currency, like you
currency.
exchange stuff to get what you need. Yeah, like
I would trade wine.
Yeah. I trade in a lot. I don't even smoke cigarettes and that. I'll buy
wine and cuddles.
Okay, I'll put it this way, because I found out a while ago. I didn't know this before. Like $50 worth of weed is worth more than $50. Because this is how currency works, and when you're dealing with people in relationships, and it shocked me that like people put it this way: $25 worth of weed is worth more than $50. I never understood it. Like, and I was just,
it's all relative to who you hanging with. Because
I'm just talking about it when you trading with toxic people. So like
that currency ain't gonna work with me.
It's super fucking interesting to me. No, I learned you got more power sometimes with like cigarettes are very powerful.
I don't typically use
like it's super interesting to me. Like no, this is something I just started figuring out like over the last five years. Like and it was just like motherfucker, come go get these motherfucker do all this shit for a 50-cent cigarette. But if I offered them $5, they wouldn't do the same thing, and the $5 would buy way more cigarettes.
Oh, what would I do for these things?
No. It's not about what you would
do. As a form of currency.
Yeah.
I understand the question. It's just I'm not around those kind of people that like cigarettes. I'm not even around smoking.
I'm not doing nothing for cigarettes. If I'm out and
just
about.
Like I'd like me personally, I think sexual favors are probably the most powerful. People get a lot of shit done for sexual favors. Like you get
I agree with that.
Yeah, you'll get a Hollywood role for that shit.
Like, sexual favor promises get you shit.
Yeah, like so when you actually do the act, you really get some shit. So
I guess for me it would be more. You know what you don't have on there, which is a big thing for me, and I try to get it every day from you people, is conversation.
Yes.
Conversation is number one for me every day.
Man, come on, Kaz. Now you with me.
I don't get I can walk in, if you got liquor, yeah, maybe. If you got wine, yeah, maybe. But conversation will trump every last one of these every single day.
Every day, all day.
As far as current conversation for me, outside of what I do for a living, I don't like talking to people.
No, you don't. You're an asshole.
Because you wouldn't talk to me?
I'm a bit reclusive also.
Oh,
believe it or not.
Yvonne, I love you, baby. I will talk to you anytime you want to talk because it's a vested interest. But
Okay.
I have a vested interest, so I would love to talk to you. I would love
Yeah,
to
'cause
have that currency go
right.
back
That's
and forth because it's a myriad of things that we can talk about.
yeah, it is. And I'm
Yeah,
waiting for my
you know.
conversation. What's
Plus,
taking you so long? What's
I'm a
taking you so long? You got a
sapiosexual,
woman or something?
so
You got
that
a woman, Quantis?
that conversation could go to wherever we want it to go.
I know. I'm waiting. I'm patient, but I'm
Yeah,
thirsty.
This is
yeah.
not flirt hour, guys. Okay,
Conversation is so important for me. It's that I legitly talk to strangers online.
Real, I do.
He
I
does.
I
do.
He
talk
got a
to
problem.
I
I
talk to
do.
people
I
from
do that
all over the
too.
world online.
Yeah.
okay.
That's how important conversation is.
Let me
for It
rephrase
is
this.
I'm gonna have to start
extremely
calling
important.
you.
Nandi, rank these
Thank
social,
you.
Nandi, rank these social currencies for me: weed, liquor, beer, cigarettes, sexual favors, and I'm gonna add nothing else. Go ahead.
We're talking about like societally what I
Yeah. Like and when you trade and stuff, like like when you go on a date, ain't nobody just like outright prostitution. It's just like let me buy you a meal, give you a cigarette, let me give you some
I would
drinks.
say sex, then weed, then liquor, and then cigarettes.
What you looking for?
Those cigarettes hold a higher value than you think. I didn't know that many people was that hooked on nicotine.
Yeah, that's true. I will say
Who's that, Gabe?
the nicotine aspect of cigarettes is addictive.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes the value go up. But I put them lower because they're pretty accessible in general. So like, at least depending on where you are.
I don't know. Motherfuckers asked me yesterday. I don't even sell cigarettes.
I think it
got
depends on the
I got
person.
50 cents. I'm like, chill, get the fuck away from me.
I like to cater to people, but for me, if I things that I will do stuff for, forget all that other stuff. Conversation.
No, okay, so that's why initially I could have.
But if I'm doing something with if I want my dad to do something, I want to do it's liquor and cigarettes.
No. And
if I'm doing something with you, it's beer.
Now
you
But
if I'm doing something with my ex, it's sexual favors. I know what to do.
But I'm saying I think you get my greater point. I probably, if I would have had more time to write this out, I probably would have thought this out differently. But but the whole reason I wrote it as toxic currency is like, why can't we trade in love or other things, right? Like so, like more.
I get what you're saying.
I would say that conversation is almost toxic for me as well. These are things that people. It's kind of like being a crack addict. Things that people will go out of character to do. So things that people will like. If I give you this, you might compromise some of your own integrity because I'm giving you these. And like if I give my dad liquor and cigarettes, he might not do. He might tolerate my gay ass being around him that he normally wouldn't tolerate if I'm just sitting there having a conversation with him. For me, I will tolerate a conversation with a complete stranger that I don't know because it feeds me as a person. You can bring me cigarettes or food. That's the other one that's really toxic for me. Food. You make me some food, you done.
Oh, why your mic so low?
My mic?
No, Nandi's, because it was. Did it
It's
switch?
just a directional mic. So, but
it's using this mic at all. That's why.
All right, kind of.
Oh, that's what happened.
It's all good. We it's 3:18, so we're finna go up into these.
Oh, you're using a laptop mic. That's what happened.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
yes.
It's fine, Nandi. So we'll do your Nandi woke report, and then we'll do the Art of Black Psychology with Yvonne, and then we'll start wrapping it up. Go ahead, Nandi.
Okay. So this goes back to a conversation that we had off air earlier this week.
That was rough.
So I just want to reiterate for Black people of the United States, okay? Suffering and trials and tribulations are not a requirement of Blackness and general success. I am sick and tired of Black people equating our Blackness with just strife and struggle and poverty and things that are unkempt and not clean or lack value. And it says a lot about people who believe those things and equate their blackness to those things, because you're saying that your identity comes down to those things. And I was noticing this because I have a lot of West African friends. And those people, specifically Nigerian people, they're very ornate and lavish, and they like to be expressive and colorful. And that's something that they pride themselves in having. But when you talk about blackness in the United States, we're correlating it with the crack epidemic of the 80s and being poor and on welfare and just like struggling through the hood. And those aren't things to brag about. Like, I can understand you being prideful of having lived through those situations and feeling like you overcame them. But in general, there's this sense that like, oh, you're not black enough if you haven't struggled hard enough. Or, you know, just people equating like ingenuity with ghetto and ratchet. Like, we are resourceful people because we've had to be. And I don't think that we need to keep perpetuating that as a sense of pride. And like, you know, it was a necessity for some time. We can let go of fried chicken. It's decent, it's good, but that's not who we are as a people. And like, that was scraps that were given to us that we made the most out of. And I think we can use that as a representation for a lot of things.
We just lost all the niggas on the fried chicken.
I ain't throwing my Boston market away.
I'm not telling you to get rid of it. I'm saying stop reducing Black culture and our foods to fried chicken. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not
some good fried chicken.
I think I get your point. For the most part, I get your point, but
I love a point.
But I think
she had me till she got to the fried chicken.
Well, this is what we argued over. I really got into it with one of my friends over this.
Oh yeah,
because she cooks.
You could have said chitlin
about it.
Everybody agree with your chitlin, but you had to say fried.
I don't
chicken.
eat chitlins, but I ain't mad at people that do. So, but we gotta be real careful. So, like, I get what you're saying in a sense, like, there is no monolithic Black person, right? Is what you're saying in essence, right?
No, I think
that's not what I'm saying.
I brought this up on
the point.
No. I'm saying that's the larger point, but the more specific.
That's not my larger point.
You don't like the boxes that people are creating.
That's not my larger point.
Okay,
I think because I understood what she was saying.
My point is that people need to stop equating Blackness with poverty and struggle. Yes, there are people who are going through that, but that is not all of their Blackness. That is the oppressive system that they're living under. It doesn't like that they're melanated. But being melanated does not mean that intrinsically we are connected and feel most Black.
Let me ask one question. Where do you receive your information from? Because I don't necessarily subscribe to the same.
Wait, no,
it's not about information. I'm saying that for me, I am tired of our Blackness being reduced to poverty and struggle.
I get what you're saying.
Because our Black culture is way more than that, but I feel like that's the bulk of what people.
Let me make it easier for Mally. Just like with rappers, nobody wants to hear from a rapper that came from a good upbringing. They don't.
That's why they didn't like Kanye.
It's also just like recently. It's also just like recently there was a Facebook post in the group about a man saying that, well, if men should be stay-at-home moms be single parents, and then he listed all these things, and I said, why does it seem, at least what I see on social media, it seems like who struggles the most? It's this competition of I've got it worse than you. I've got it worse than this person because I get that, but there seems to be is this not nothing to compete about? That I've got it worse than you. I
can
so
see if it's
I'm
in a
more Black.
Way, but no.
What she's saying is
some niggas need to be brought into the light, nigga. Because like, no, you different if you grew up where you didn't have to, man.
No, but she's saying that is not equated.
That's not
because you have it worse than.
But anyway, let the black psychology segment, please.
No,
some of us ain't gonna be here all freaking day.
Be quiet.
I thought you were
had to
saying,
go,
Nandi, you can correct me. I thought you were saying that just because you have it worse doesn't mean that you are more quote unquote
that's
black.
not what she said.
That's
Go
not
back
what I
again.
said.
Go back again, Najee, right? Like for a long time, we
They
were
put a
watching
G in it,
TV shows.
non-G.
No, I can't get it
'Cause
right. We were watching all these TV
Nandi,
shows.
ninja.
Until we were watching all these TV shows about people living in the projects. Everybody was hurt. Then Bill Cosby came out, and there we have it. We got two working people. They got good jobs. Right, break it. You get tired of seeing black, and then you see poverty, and then that's what.
Yeah, but Bill Cosby was a rapist.
Yeah, we know that. I'm quite sure.
Stop going down that rabbit hole. I like psychology next. I'm the sergeant at arms. I'm the self-appointed sergeant at arms. This moderator is letting stuff go to rabbit holes.
So Nandi, my segment of how I want to address what you were talking about is the art of Black psychology. How do you begin to reframe your mind to think about yourself in a different way, other than what you're seeing by an oppressive system that you're surrounded by every day? It's like once you do, you can pull yourself out of situations like that, but most people don't know how to do it. Right. And so when we talk about, to reframe your mind, you do have to think about yourself differently other than what you grew up with. It's a state of mind. It's your mindset. How do you move forward? You got to start asking for help, to get out of those type of thinking patterns. A lot of times we don't know how to do it because we don't understand that it's a thinking pattern. It's being handed down to you generationally, right? And so when trauma travels like that and you're still living in it, it's hard to process yourself out of it because you have to think about yourself differently. And once I started thinking about myself differently, that's what happened. I started to elevate, right? The vibrations were higher. I don't talk to or be around some of the negativity that I was once in because I don't like it now. I had to get to that point though. Nobody can tell you, at least from my standpoint, somebody looking on the outside, looking in, coming back to tell me, well, Yvonne, this person is toxic. Well, you can't see it because you're in it. And you're thinking that this is a safe space for you because you feel comfortable. The growth does not happen from you being comfortable. You got to be pushed. And the first person that needs to push you is yourself. Yes, you could be motivated, but nobody can make you do the work. You have to want to do it. And so because I wanted to do the work, I wanted to change, I pushed myself. Yeah. And so accountability now is where I'm at with everybody, including myself. I hold you accountable to what you say to me. If you don't mean it, don't say it. And that's it for me. Because if I give you my word, I'm trying to stick to it.
You
know I expect the same thing back.
Grant cut you off, not me.
No.
I'm just mad he figured out how to use the soundboard all of a sudden. But yeah, I don't want to diminish people. Like definitely you have traumatic experiences that inform parts of your identity. My point is that the trauma is not intrinsically Black identity.
It's not at all. And because people don't know that, they don't know their history. They don't know, where they come from. I'm part Nigerian. I just did a 23andMe. And what happened was I began to see that there's something else. There's different parts of me that I want to, dive into. So that whole Nigerian culture is something different for me. And I'm starting to learn about it. Why? Because I'm much more than what America said I was. They stole me.
Well, I'm the only white person on this show.
You're like 20% Nigerian.
Can we kick him off the show? When is that gonna happen?
I could.
I agree with that.
Technically, but I have an open policy, so I don't pick anybody.
Anybody who's watching,
all these niggas,
y'all come on over to the Art of Black Psychology because I talk about reframing the mindset so that we can move to be the great dynamic community that we can be. All of those great nations, from Africa and what we started here in America, we built it, right? Yeah. So what's to say we can't do it again?
Right. No, we didn't build it. Our ancestors did.
Okay, but here's the last
thing. Well,
my
ancestor, so
The
They
last
did
thing
not
I'll
build the
say
railroad. The
is
Chinese people did.
I
That,
don't.
okay, we give them credit.
My last
Chinese
point.
people built the railroads.
My last point is that
That's why they
also,
falling apart now. Made in China.
No, don't do that.
I want people to know that if you are a melanated person who identifies as Black, then you are at this time in the present day creating Black history. We don't all have to connect back to
Exactly.
Pan-Africanism because that doesn't relate with everybody.
Mhm,
And
it
you're
doesn't.
welcome to do so.
Mhm.
African people are not stopping you from doing that, but you can be Black and continue to create new things within your Black identity that don't have to rely on necessity and trauma.
It's just
We have
opening
to.
the lane for the gays.
We
Okay.
have to.
What? I'm still in Quantis coats.
That's my place, man.
You
You
took it too
taking my
long,
stuff.
man. I had to do it for you. Any comedic relief today, Renita?
No, this was so therapeutic. I know I'm toxic.
No
I
toxic.
know I am. Yeah, I know.
Shout out to Will and Jada. Cool.
Y'all still,
Yeah,
you still got the
for
restraining
real.
orders? You still got the restraining orders out?
No, we actually rekindled our relationship, and then realized that we still like oil and water.
They
Yeah.
mix.
Y'all
They
grew
mix.
up?
Or
Yeah, we grew up.
Mhm.
We grew up, and I don't know. I had to deal with a lot of anger too.
Mhm.
It is. And you try to control people, and then that comes in with that. I have never ever in my lifetime heard narcissistic behavior thrown around so much as I have during this pandemic.
Mhm.
You really get to know who the narcissists are, and the word gaslighting. Ooh,
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
word gaslighting.
Oh, that's
And I
another
was
think
show.
that's
you
because
want to know
people
who gaslights people the most? Your
who?
fucking job.
But
Yup.
I
Gaslighting
think
bullshit. They got you gaslighted all the way to retirement. Them niggas.
They do. They do.
Genius.
No lie. No lie.
I think more information about abusers started coming out because people were realizing with the quarantine, you don't have refuge from an abuser. You're just in
You
the house
don't.
with them
You
24/7.
don't. Exactly.
And
Mhm.
that's
don't.
something that a lot of educators were telling me. Their kids who they knew were being abused at home, they're worried about them because they're no longer coming to school, getting 2
Get
meals a
away.
day. And
Mhm.
like that's the same for anybody who's experiencing abuse. You go to work, you make any excuse to have a little bit of time where you're not in the space of that abuser and letting your brain being fueled by the abuse because it affects how
Exactly.
you
The
self-identify.
You know
whole
what,
worst
Nandi?
shit.
I
I
had
want
a
to say
guy
this.
ask me.
I want to
had a
say
guy
this to
ask
Nandi
me-
real
Go ahead.
quick.
Let Quantis say what he got to say.
This is your best show so far.
Okay,
You-
listen, full disclosure, guys. Quantis likes me better when I take my meds. It is what it is. I've noticed
you took
it.
your meds
You noticed
today?
it. Yes, that's what I said before we started. I took
This
them.
is your best show. It might be KLS Studios too because you're not at the crib.
The studio is definitely helping me. I
Yeah,
took my
you
meds. I ate something
yeah.
today, and I haven't smoked yet.
Oh,
Yeah, you did real good. You did real good.
That's hilarious.
You did good. That's good for you.
good job, Nandi.
Wow.
Good job, Nandi. I
No-
agree. I
no,
agree. Good
That's
job.
your best show.
Anything going on in the gay world? No queer review? You good?
Hey, there's always something going on in the gay world. See,
Trans
I don't.
awareness.
I just got
I
a quick
don't-
fuck trans awareness.
Hey,
That's what's going on in the gay world.
You
Man.
can't say that.
I'm
Yes, he
transphobic
can,
and
and he did.
homophobic. I can say whatever I want to.
He did.
So like,
how you gonna ask me if there's anything and then cut me right off?
I just wanted to ask about the Florida law.
I was gonna get into the Florida law.
Don't
So I had
say
saw an
gay.
interesting. I saw an interesting article about it, and they it's a lot of people like Mally was even saying, "Oh, I understand it. That's not a good thing to argue about." But this article that I had, not article, but this Facebook post that I saw about it, that some of the teachers down there are doing, basically they said, "Well, I'm not going to say Mr. or Mrs. anymore. I'm not going to say husband and wife anymore because that's talking about gender and alluding to sexuality too." I think there's so much focus on things that make us uncomfortable and that go against the grain. And therefore, if we think it's uncomfortable, it's perverted. That's perverted. So therefore, we don't want to talk about it. We don't want to have these conversations with kids. And it was something that I had talked about on the last show about how my family, specifically my upbringing, my mother, made me feel like I was the only gay person in my family, which I later in life found out that I was one of many. So the
That's only
idea
your
and
mama.
how
Hey, hold on. That nigga ain't the only one in his household. Shit, y'all didn't even know. Y'all
this
siblings.
was before my brother had.
Y'all
This was
niggas
before.
siblings.
No, but
How the
listen.
fuck you didn't know? Y'all siblings and didn't
Because
even
this
know
was
over y'all
because
gay
I
motherfuckers.
came out. If you shut up, I came out before my brother came out. I came out before, and I reached out to my brother when they were lesbian and before they even transitioned. So I felt I was the only one and wanted to be supportive and everything else. But this idea that you can shield people or hold people, you actually do more harm than good when you try to censor things. So I think we gotta act more with grace. One of the things that I'm still struggling a lot with, that I see on social media a lot, that I see kind of that I could tie in with the woke report in psychology, is that we don't give ourselves as people enough grace, and we live in these very absolutes of black and white, that if you are an abuser or a toxic person, you cannot be reformed. And I'm all about reformation and all about grace. That doesn't mean that the people that you abuse will forgive you. That doesn't mean that the damage that you've done can be undone. Sometimes that damage is so severe that it can't be undone, but that should not stop you from your own healing journey. And I think we vilify people too much, and we've gotten into this culture of that's toxic, abuse of this, abuse of that. And I think it's great to call people out, but I also think that we overdo it to the point where we are doing it to the point where we're saying, if you don't have, acting as if no one has toxic traits or abusive traits, or that we don't use violence with our words and physical violence. We've all done it at some point in time in our life because we're not perfect human beings. But the biggest thing that I wanted to answer earlier about how do you combat your own toxic traits is grace. And that's how I do it with myself. It's grace. And the thing that the Oscars triggered me, because I was like,
grace and mercy.
The stuff at the Oscars triggered me because I've been in that position where I've done something that I don't want to do. That's out of my character. That I have done something that's harmful, and it has affected and reverberated around the people that are in my life.
If anybody is just watching that I slapped before, I apologize. I slapped a lot of people in my life.
I done slapped a lot of people.
In my 20s, I was a slapping motherfucker. But Will, I don't know why you did that in your 50s. All right, Dad, do you have anything?
No, because if I say anything, it's redundant at this point.
Especially
after the airbag just went off. So
stop hating.
That means that we think alike, buddy.
No biblical apology? Okay, I thought you had something that you...
who?
Apologizing for the Bible.
Apologize for...
I thought we worked that out.
What did he say?
Wait, it was a lady that said that on Facebook. She said it was something in the Bible that said the hair will be taken off of the women who are evil. That's Isaiah
that's a
something.
lie. That's a
no,
lie.
really. I'm gonna pull it up for you.
I saw the lady. The lady's misinformed.
And they put it. It's in the Bible. We read it.
It's not what that says. If you read it properly, that's not what that says.
What did it say?
It has nothing about God cursing women, but that's not what that says.
A lot of that shit's lost in translation.
That's not even what that.
That's what we need to do.
You could clearly see that's not what it says.
Quantis needs to do a segment called "Lost in Translation."
Mm-hmm.
Yes, educate us.
That one wasn't even lost in translation. You just got to be an idiot to think that.
It was Isaiah.
That was the power. That was the power of suggestion.
Nigga, that shit came straight out of the book of alopecia. I don't know what you're talking about.
Now you gonna have me get
Don't you think a lot of Christ followers are?
Stop it, Malachi.
I wish I had one of them fucking books right here, right now.
Stop it.
One in this house.
That was not even talking about that.
It was Isaiah what?
Jada Pinkett full of shit, Will Smith full of shit, Chris Rock full of shit, and I'm not talking about them. So it is what it is. Nothing, Dad. Let's wrap it up. Everybody good? No final thoughts. Nandi, we'll let you end it. What's your final thoughts? Since you this is your best day.
This is her best day.
Clap for Nandi, everybody! We'll let you end it.
I hate y'all. Okay, 2 thoughts. It's okay to give a fuck about people who you aren't attracted to. Exactly. And accountability and apologies are not necessary for your healing. It's a personal endeavor. You figure it out.
How you know?
That's true.
Nigga, you ain't even 30. Shut up.
I know things. I've been waiting on apologies from people I'm not gonna get it from.
Exactly.
And still trying to heal.
Closure is not a requirement to your healing journey.
Stop fucking with them fuck boys, nigga. Nigga, you should
I
have
will
known.
not.
You should have known.
You need to bring all those cats
Hey,
so I
Nandi had the worst
could
story in
filter
the
your
world.
relationships because you need some help, man.
I am a fuck
You
boy.
need
That's
some
the
help.
problem.
Yeah, this show.
That's your toxic
Anytime you're
trait.
dealing with a
They don't
nigga,
like that about me, so
This
they
mother-
take it
That
out
is
on
not
me.
her toxic trait. That's her superpower.
This
Right, that's the best
motherfucking
thing about
show.
me.
This show is satirical, and Nandi made this shit dramatic and depressing. I was like,
No,
what
she
the
didn't.
fuck?
I
That's
love
how
it.
No, she did
that's how I
not.
do satire. That's how I do satire.
When,
Just
when
'cause
she
you
I
said
love
that
it.
story, I almost cried, man. She drunk.
Yes, because
She
niggas is
she
crazy.
flew out with the nigga.
I was telling y'all what I
and bought the
used to put up
iPad
with.
after the nigga. I'd have slapped. You should have been slapped the shit
But
out
it's
that
the
nigga.
principle for me.
You
You're not gonna
supposed
go
to
out
do
here
some
and
Will
tell people
Smith
that I
shit.
did that shit to you and I didn't fix it. And
What
at that
principle?
point, we don't deal with each other no more.
Man, fuck that shit. I don't know how. I don't know how.
yeah, you kind of you played the sucker role.
But honestly, that was me in my life thinking that I was turning the other cheek.
Which cheek, nigga?
Actually,
like
you did the right
cheeks,
thing, Nandi.
nigga.
Because you did the right thing. You did the right
I'm telling you, I was just like, you think
Man,
I
that's
did
turning
it?
enough
I'll
cheeks
fix
to
it.
fill a strip club. Ain't nobody finna do all that shit. Fuck that.
I feel that though. I feel that. I feel that too.
That
feel
nigga's
that,
probably
Nandi.
still miserable. That's how I think of it.
Nah, that nigga happy because he doing that shit to some other idiot.
That
Like,
doesn't mean he's happy. That
No,
doesn't
hurt
mean he's
people.
happy.
Hurt people. Hurt people. Violence
That doesn't mean
begets
he's
violence.
happy.
That's
He gets
true.
a high out of doing
Let
that
me
shit.
tell you one thing. Ultimately, that nigga told me he was insecure because he felt like he was dumber than me.
He probably is.
So I
You
know he
smart.
wasn't happy.
You smart. You book smart, but when it comes to relationships, I don't know.
Okay, you can feel that way, but at the end of the day, he was acting up because he didn't feel as intelligent as me.
No, I give you that. I give you that. You book smart. I give you that part.
So, you know.
Maybe he was. Did he specifically say book smart?
Well,
also, I was 20 at the time.
See?
That was dumb.
it was 20, so as you
But
suffering,
let me tell you what I
learning.
did do that was smart, and I will encourage every person
We're
with
not
a uterus
getting
to
back
do.
into that one.
At 20 years old, I got me an IUD, and I think that's the best decision any of y'all heifers can make because y'all out here being dumb and letting these niggas with all of these complexes about how they want to have many wives and children get you knocked up.
Now
You
what
wear a condom,
what I
but
will
if you
now what I will say after that
That's
is
one thing I get the gay community. That is
a sentiment I can agree with.